Carbonara, one of my favorite Italian dishes. It's made of cured meat, hard cheese, and black pepper. When I prepare at home, I like to have it with zucchini too. I think it makes it more nutritious and adds an interesting texture to it. Also, it tastes good too. It's a very delicate dish that requires some technique. Otherwise, your sauce is gonna curdle. So let's do it! I start with the zucchini. You know, this dish was made for charcoal workers. It's a food full of carbs and fat, which is good if your routine demands a lot of energy like them. But in my daily routine, I don't need that much energy, so I add zucchini in order to reduce the amount of pasta that I eat every day. Plus, it adds some fibers to the dish, making it into a whole meal in one plate. Hey, it's a very Italian vegetable, so I think I'm not committing any crime in here. About the cut, I like to chop some bite-sized pieces because I like the crunch it gives in contrast to the pasta. The zucchini will reduce in size as it cooks, so I cut slightly bigger than I want, like this, you see? For the bacon, I have two skinless pieces. I want them to be very crispy, so I'm cutting them into cubes. Actually, the traditional recipe calls for guanciale, which is a cured meat product prepared from pork cheeks. The bacon comes from the pork belly. I tried both, and I prefer the bacon in this case because I feel it's more meaty. Now, the egg mixture, which is basically cheese and eggs. This is a Brazilian hard cheese called queijo de Minas meia cura. Normally, you'll see the use of pecorino cheese for this recipe, but it's really expensive in here. I think any hard cheese like Parmesan would work too. Now add the eggs. I'm using 3 eggs for this portion. Then season this with pepper and salt. The black pepper is one of the main ingredients of this dish, so I'm being very generous. On the other hand, for the salt, I'm being conservative because the bacon and cheese are already very salty. Now we whisk everything and there you go, we have our sauce. With everything ready, we can start to put the elements in the pan. The first one is bacon. Put the bacon in the pan and then turn on the heat. This will allow to slowly heat the bacon, helping it release its fat, not being necessary to put any more oil in this recipe. After some minutes, the bacon will start to fry in its own fat. Stir a little bit until it turns crispy. Then put your diced zucchini. Let them sweat and fry for a while. If your pieces of bacon are leaner than mine, you can add some oil just to not let the zucchini stick in the pan. While you're cooking them, start your pasta. I'll use dry pasta today since it's a weeknight meal and it's easy for me to have it at home. Cook your pasta until it's al dente or one step before that. I say that because it will cook a little bit more with the warm sauce later. When your bacon and zucchini are well cooked, turn off your heat and put your drained pasta on it. I'm using a cast iron pan for this, but it was not the best choice because it retains too much heat and it increases the risk of scrumbling my egg mixture. The idea in here is that the heat of the pasta will slowly cook the eggs. This process will allow the cheese to melt and combine with the eggs and the fat in the pan, turning all of it into a glossy carbonara sauce. First, the mixture will look thin, but then Gradually, it will magically thicken. If you think you can turn on the heat on low and keep mixing. When you see that your sauce is sticking to your zucchini like this, it's time to stop immediately and prepare your plate. If it stays there, it will cook further, break the sauce, and it will become scrambled eggs. We don't want that. This one almost became one because I was busy trying to film everything. Now let's put it on the plate. A nice portion for me, like this. And let's put some bacon and zucchini on top of it for the thumbnail picture. I like some finishing freshly ground black pepper, just for the touch. And good. Now look at this. This is a full meal in one plate, with a good balance of meat, vegetables, and carbs. This food is so delicious. These charcoal workers really knew how to eat. Do you think they would enjoy the zucchini part too, or they would arrest me? Well,